Good morning guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video that I haven't really done before, and this is a video addressing some of my more recent purchases and letting you know where are they now, how do I feel about these perfumes. I do want to give a shout out to Amy Glam. I know that she has done a video very similar, and Amy Glam has a beautiful account. I will link her channel down below if you guys like hauls, reviews. She has great stuff, so I definitely will link her channel down below for you. And in today's video I'm going to be giving you my final thoughts on the new Kayali Utopia, talking about the longevity and whether or not I think it's worth the money. I'm also going to be telling you about a new perfume that is making its way into my collection, and I'm really excited, and just let you know my final thoughts on some of these perfumes. So if this is your first time on my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Alithia, and on this channel we talk mostly about perfume, so if that is your thing, make sure to head on down and hit the subscribe button. And without further ado, let's get started. Hey guys, I just wanted to say that for some reason with the Gypsy Water update, it's only playing on the left side of the speakers, not both sides. So it's kind of driving me crazy. I hope it doesn't drive you crazy. It does improve after Gypsy Water. Okay guys, so why don't we start out with one that I have talked about a couple of times on my channel and that I told you guys I was on the fence about and didn't really think it was for me, and that is Byredo Gypsy Water. So I kept seeing all these videos, I kept seeing people talking about it, and so many people had it in like their top 10 for life. And I was watching Byredo buying guides, and this is pretty much at the top of everyone's list for Byredo. So I was like, you know what, there's got to be something about this perfume that I'm missing. I'm gonna bring it into my collection and see what I think. Maybe after I wear it a few times it will grow on me. So in the top you have juniper, lemon, bergamot, and pepper. In the mid you have pine needles, incense, and orris root. And in the base you have sandalwood, vanilla, and amber. What I can say about this perfume is that it is a very fresh, piney, foresty, definitely unisex fragrance. It's not super fresh, super citrusy. I would say it's a little bit more, I mean, it's not the most refreshing fragrance that's out there, but it is light enough that you can definitely wear it for warm weather. What I love most about this perfume is the bottle, to be honest. It still isn't for me. I can tell it's not going to be a perfume that's going to work out for me. I have tried it on my skin a few times. I've tried giving it a wear for the day. I keep coming back and sniffing it at the bottle. So I think I've pretty much confirmed for myself that this is just not going to be the perfume that I keep in my collection. I didn't want to be hasty with it because I've done that before. I don't know. Maybe I am still being hasty. I like the way it smells at the atomizer, and I want so badly to make this a collection perfume. It's a really nice perfume, but I do have to say that I still don't like it all that much. I still don't love it all that much. So and that is where I'm at with Gypsy Water. Okay, now let's talk about this one from Jo Malone. This is Mimosa Cardamom. This one I recently hauled in a fragrance buy haul video. And I have gone on a bit of a journey with this perfume. So when I first smelled this one a couple of years ago, I thought that it was too strong and headache inducing. And at the time, my boyfriend had actually purchased a bottle for himself, and he was overspraying it, as he does with all of his fragrances. And it really gave me a headache, and I kind of wrote it off as I didn't like it. Also, I had a baby nose. I had not smelled that many perfumes, so it did take me some time to appreciate this one. But what I found was that every time I would come back and smell it at his house, I really enjoyed it, and I really wanted a everyday wearable Jo Malone fragrance for my collection. So I finally did bite the bullet and got a full bottle of this for myself. And before I get into how I feel about it now, I will let you know what the notes are again. So in the top you have cardamom, in the middle you have mimosa, and in the base you have tonka bean. And you guys, I really have been enjoying wearing this perfume. I haven't worn it a whole lot, as you can see, but I have been spraying it on my skin here and there throughout the last couple of weeks, and I have just been absolutely loving this. This fragrance has a expensive hotel or expensive vacation type of vibe to me, and I don't know if that's because I'm biased, because the first time I smelt it I was on vacation. I'm not sure. What I love about this perfume is it does have that cardamom in there. Cardamom has become one of my favorite notes. Like I'm obsessed with cardamom. I'm learning, as you will find out in a minute. Pretty much anything with cardamom I've just been like over the moon for. And the mimosa that's in here also makes it very fresh. So it's not a super heavy, like nighttime fragrance. I think this one is appropriate for so many different occasions. Oh, you guys, me and cardamom, best friends. Cardamom and I are best friends now. This perfume is luxurious and fresh and yellow floral, but it still has that soft, spicy, sort of almost woody, teeny tiny touch of vanilla edge to it. The dry down of this is pure heaven. The dry down of this, I really get a lot of that tonka bean, and it's just a beautiful scent. And to be honest, I get pretty good longevity out of this perfume. 1 or 2 sprays, I will be able to smell this on myself all throughout the day, pretty much until I shower. I have no complaints with the performance of Mimosa and Cardamom. I just think it's an absolutely stunning, beautiful, everyday scent. And of course, I do want to go and smell the rest of the Jo Malones. As soon as I'm at a counter, I'm going to go and actually take my time and smell all of them and see if there's any other ones that really pique my interest. But I'm really happy to call this one my first ever, like, forever Jo Malone. So let's contrast that now with another Jo Malone fragrance that was a recent purchase in my collection, and this was actually a trade with a subscriber. Did I say what it was? This is Myrrh Tonka from Jo Malone. So I still really like this scent, but what I have discovered, you guys, is that I do prefer this more on my boyfriend than on myself. I definitely prefer to smell this on the opposite sex. I don't know why. I still think it's very sexy. I think it's just very sensual, amazing for nighttime, amazing for dates. You guys, I am so sorry. I'm having a lot of microphone issues today for some reason, so I'm just going to finish this part off with a voiceover. So the notes that you have in here are lavender, myrrh, tonka bean, vanilla, and almond. And as I was saying, I basically discovered that I do prefer to smell a little bit more feminine. I do prefer to smell a little bit more on the feminine side when it comes to fragrances. So as much as I do really like this perfume, I do find that I like it much better on my boyfriend. So this is still a super sexy nighttime perfume. I still really recommend this one. I still think a lot of people will really like this one, but I honestly don't think this one will be staying in my collection, just because every time I do put it on, I do feel like I should be wearing something a little more feminine, and that's just totally a personal preference. That's part of the perfume journey, and one thing that I am discovering about myself is I love unisex scents, but I definitely prefer some of these more spicy, more unisex ones on the opposite sex. So yeah, so sorry for the audio here, you guys. I hope that this is okay. And yeah, let's continue on with our next fragrance. Okay, looks like I'm going to be doing a voiceover for the entire rest of the video. Apparently my microphone is really giving me issues. So the next one we're going to talk about is the Kayali Utopia Vanilla Coco. So this is the newest release from Kayali, and of course this one was really hyped up because Kayali is really on a roll. They had just released the Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper, which I really love. If you guys have not checked out that perfume, definitely check that one out. I will leave a link down below to my review of that perfume. So in the opening you have coconut, pear blossom, honeysuckle, and lemon. In the middle you have tuberose, gardenia, jasmine sambac, and ambrette. And in the base you have bourbon vanilla, sandalwood, patchouli, and musk. And what I will say is that this perfume, my first impression of it was I was stunned. I absolutely love the way this perfume smelled. First, before we get into how I feel about it now, let's just do another close-up of the bottle. I absolutely love this bottle, you guys. I think this is probably one of the most beautiful bottles I have in my entire collection. So now that I've had a chance to wear this for a little while, basically when you first spray it, you get this beautiful opening of this fresh coconut, but there's still a lot of white florals even in the opening. And as it starts to dry down, probably about 20 minutes later, I do get a lot of those white florals. And for me, that's where I could almost take it or leave it, because as you guys know, if you watch my channel, I do sometimes have a hard time with white floral fragrances. I don't know what it is about them, but sometimes gardenia and tuberose especially will make me feel a little nauseated. Love the way they smell, but sometimes they do make me feel a little nauseated. That being said, in this perfume, it is quite well balanced. I don't feel like the coconut, the vanilla, or the white florals overpower one another. I think it is very nicely blended. So I absolutely love the opening of this perfume, and I also love the dry down. Again, in the middle, sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I love all the white florals, but that is completely a subjective personal preference. Yeah, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance. So what I will say about this one is the longevity is not amazing. This is supposed to be an eau de parfum intense. I did notice that I got probably a good 5-6 hours out of this perfume before it was a very, very, very soft scent. So that's the only thing that I would say could have been done a little differently, is it could have lasted a little longer and been a little bit bigger of a perfume. It doesn't project a whole lot. It doesn't enter a room before you do. In comparison to Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper, it is definitely a lighter scent. However, that being said, I think it is still a gorgeous perfume. I think that the price point is fine because I have smelled a lot of designer fragrances that cost more than this and did not perform as good as this. So I think it's very subjective. So I think if you love the way this smells and you don't mind overspraying a little bit or spraying a little bit more often, I think it's perfectly fine. I really like it. It's still a gorgeous scent. It's not quite as, I mean, there's lots of vanilla white floral fragrances out there that are just like leaps and bounds, you know, stronger and last a lot longer than this one. For instance, Saks Fifth Avenue and Love Tuberose from Amouage. Those are some vanillic, creamy white floral fragrances that are just like wow factor. Like they just fill a room and they just last forever. This one is definitely not that perfume. But that being said, I still really like it, and I can't promise I will have it forever and ever because again, it is a personal thing with that kind of tuberose gardenia. I'll just have to see how I like it. So far, you guys, I'm still loving it. So far, I still really, really like this perfume. So that's kind of where I'm at with the Kayali Utopia. I won't spend too much more time talking about it, but I still really like this one. So the next one that I want to touch base with again is the A Drop de Issey from Issey Miyake. So this one, you guys, was not a blind buy. This is one that I had smelled in the store, and every time I would go back and smell it, I knew it was special. I knew it was a beautiful perfume, and at first I wasn't sure if it was quite for me, but I couldn't stop smelling it, and now, you guys, I honestly think it is one of the most beautiful floral perfumes that I've ever smelled. So before I get into the notes, I will let you know that I absolutely despise this bottle. That's the only thing that they could have done differently with this perfume, was maybe make it so that it could stand up, because of course you cannot stand it up. You have to lay it flat on your vanity, and I understand what they were getting at because it kind of looks like a drop of water, which is kind of cute, but it just doesn't, it's very annoying for me that it takes up so much surface space on my vanity. So the only thing I would say is if they could put it in a nicer bottle, that would have been amazing. But the juice inside is phenomenal. This is also how the atomizer is. It's kind of a rubberized top and then you push down. So I'll show you the spray. Sorry that you didn't hear the spray. I am doing voiceover. So the spray itself is beautiful, and you guys, the scent, like just that one little spray was filling the room around me as I was holding this perfume, and it smells absolutely heavenly. So the notes that you have in this fragrance are almond milk and damask rose in the top. In the mid you have lilac, solar notes, star anise, jasmine, and orange blossom. And in the base you have musk, vanilla, ambroxan, and atlas cedar. How I would describe this perfume is if an angel was coming down from the heavens and she smelled like lilac, that is what this would smell like. It also gives me very much a sort of a beachy, tropical lilac sense. Not in the sense of like coconut mojito. It doesn't smell beachy or tropical in that sense, but I think the solar notes and the almond milk, something about it just gives it this creamy, almost beachy accord. If you were in a tropical location and there was lilacs growing on the beach, I don't know, that's just the vibes this gives me. It is a very sunny, beautiful, elegant, ladylike, classy perfume. It's really in the same category for me as the Erin the Erin Lauder fragrances. I'll put a photo of them on the screen for you, but they are just beautiful, classy, gorgeous, amazing performance, for the most part, perfumes. And that's kind of what this gives me. This is a very beautiful, classy, daytime, everyday summer perfume for women. And the lasting power on this is phenomenal. 1 or 2 sprays and you will be able to smell it all day. It does dry down to a very cozy, lavender, almost like dryer sheet kind of scent. So it starts off very milky, creamy, vanilla, solar, lilac. It's gorgeous. The only thing with this perfume is you do have to like lilac. If you don't like lilac, you will not like this because the lilac is there from the beginning all the way to the end. It is not like a top note that disappears. It's a very bold presence in this perfume. I really like it. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I do because I have always loved the smell of lilac bushes and lilac flowers, but I didn't know if I actually wanted to wear lilac. But now that I have worn it a couple of times, and I honestly just cannot get enough of this perfume. So the only thing again that I don't like is the bottle. I would love if they would maybe come out with a better bottle for it, but it just doesn't matter because the scent inside is so beautiful. So I'm still really, really loving the Issey Miyake A Drop to Issey, and I definitely recommend checking this one out. Okay, and the next one, you guys, I actually only have a decant of, and actually it was one of my wonderful subscribers who sent this to me, so thank you so much if you are watching. And I've actually had this decant for a while, and if you guys have been watching my channel, you will probably laugh at me or roll your eyes, one or the other, because I have told you guys so many times that I did not think I liked Gris Charnel. So if you guys haven't heard of Gris Charnel, this is a fragrance from BDK Parfum. It has been very, very widely hyped up and talked about. A lot of people love this fragrance, and when I first smelled this perfume, I basically felt it was a little bit too overpowering, and I hadn't ever smelled anything quite like it. It is a very unique, beautiful, thick, dense, intoxicating fragrance. And I have told you guys before that I've always felt it was a very well done perfume and sort of a masterpiece of a fragrance, but I just didn't think it was for me. That being said, I have been coming back to this one every now and again, just giving it a sniff, even trying it on my skin every now and again. And I'm really glad I did, because I have to say I'm actually really enjoying this scent. So before I get into my full thoughts on it, let me tell you what the notes are. So in the top you have cardamom, fig, and black tea. In the middle you have iris and bourbon vetiver, and in the base you have sandalwood and tonka bean. And what I have discovered, as I told you guys, is that I absolutely love cardamom. I don't know what it is, but lately I have just been loving cardamom, and this fragrance makes me feel like money. This fragrance makes me feel sensual, rich, luxurious. It just has something about it. Every time I come back and smell it, I enjoy it more and more. It does smell a little bit similar to the Jo Malone Mimosa and Cardamom in the sense that they both have that sort of tonka bean, soft, spicy, woody kind of a touch to it. But this one, there's just something about it. It's very creamy. I don't know if it's the fig or the sandalwood, but this perfume, you guys, is just, it's just a masterpiece. It's so beautiful. And I know a lot of people say that this is more of a fall winter scent. I have to say I actually like it even for the summer. I think it works in the warm weather. I'm not really sure why, but yeah, I've been really enjoying this perfume, you guys, and spoiler alert, I may or may not have a bottle of this coming in the mail. I honestly just think it's so gorgeous. I think it is a great addition to my collection because I have nothing else quite like it. It honestly just smells so luxurious and so beautiful, and the dry down is absolute heaven. The dry down is heaven. This is a unisex fragrance, but I definitely can see both men and women wearing it, and personally I do think that it works really well on a woman. I really like wearing it myself. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on Gris Charnel, one that I have not talked about on my channel before, except to tell you that I didn't really think I liked it, and it just goes to show how important it is to take your time with your samples. I have gotten rid of so many samples before that I really wish I wouldn't have, because I think if I was to come back to them now, I think I would have a completely different feeling about a lot of those perfumes. Sometimes your tastes just change, and sometimes it takes time to appreciate a perfume. So yeah, that is my thoughts on Gris Charnel. I will do more of an in-depth full review on it once I actually receive the bottle. So you guys, that is it for today's video. Again, I'm so sorry that I ended up having to voice over this entire thing. I don't know what's up with my microphone, but I will fix it. I would also like to know down below your thoughts on these fragrances, especially the Gris Charnel and the Jo Malone fragrances and the A Drop to Issey, if you have smelled that one. And if you guys haven't already, feel free to head on over and follow me on Instagram, and I will see you all very soon in my next video. Bye for now. Just give me your word. We gotta let go.